Okay, so I will present my screen. So all of you, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So name of the subject is Systems in Mechanical Engineering, right? What are the objectives behind studying this subject? See, course means subject and objective means the reason why to study this subject, right? So there are six objectives. There are six course objectives, right? That's why there are six units. This first course objective will be covered in your first unit. Similarly, CO2 will be covered in unit 2. And on the same line, CO6 will be covered in unit number 6. So what is the first objective? You should be in a position to identify sources of energy and their conversions. That's why the name of first unit is sources of energy and their conversions. So being an engineer, you might be from any discipline, irrespective of your discipline, you must know what are the different sources of energy, what are their categories and how they are converted from one form to the other form. Then course objective number 2 is to explain basic concept of engineering thermodynamics and its applications. So you must know what are the basic fundamentals of engineering thermodynamics. You must know zeroth law. At the same time, you must know how zeroth law is applied, right? How temperature is measured, how zeroth law helps in measuring a temperature, right? You must know applications of thermodynamics. That is, you must know different temperature scales. You must know how a refrigerator works. You must know how a heat engine works. You must know how a heat pump works. So that we will be studying in your unit number 2, right? Then CO3 is to understand the specifications of vehicles. We use vehicles, right, for transport, right, as well as for a transport of goods, right, for a transport of people we use vehicles. So you being an engineer, right, as I said that irrespective of your discipline, you must be in a position to specify different vehicles, right? That we'll be studying in unit number 3. How a vehicle is specified. So whenever you go to any place, whenever you go to any, let's say you go to a showroom and you ask for a specific vehicle, so being an engineer, you must be in a position to compare. You must be in a position to see which different systems are there, right? Okay. Then fourth unit is also related to automobiles. Unit number 3 and 4, they are related to automobiles, right? Unit number 4 is to get acquainted with vehicle systems, right? Different vehicle systems are there, like lubrication system is there, transmission system is there, right? Plenty of systems are there. So you will get acquainted, right? You will come to know about different vehicle systems in unit number 4 after studying unit number 4. Now see, unit number 5 is to introduce proper manufacturing processes, right? You will come to know how a raw material is converted into workpiece. What are the different processes? What is subtractive manufacturing? What is additive manufacturing? Right? You will see how a raw material is converted into workpiece, which different machines are there, right? How they are used, right? What are the names of different components of a machine? How a lathe machine works, how a milling machine works. So that we will study in unit number 5. And this is unit number 6. In unit number 6, we'll see domestic appliances, right? In our household, we use devices like filters are there, refrigerators are there, air conditioners are there, and plenty of mechanisms are there. So we will be studying, even let's say we are using a car, and in case of rainy season, we use the wiper. So we'll see how that, what kind of mechanism is there for that wiper. Okay. So these are the course objectives, right, for systems in mechanical engineering. And this will be course outcomes. Objectives is why we study the subject, and outcomes is after studying the subject, you will be in a position to this. For example, after studying unit number 1, once we complete unit number 1, you will be in a position to describe and compare the conversion of energy from renewable and non-renewable energy sources, right? So you will be in a position to describe and compare how energy conversion is carried out. After studying unit number 2, you will be in a position to explain basic laws of thermodynamics. You can explain zeroth law of thermodynamics. You can explain first law of thermodynamics, right? You can explain all laws of thermodynamics in a more clear way, because along with we'll be studying not only definitions, but along with the definitions, we'll be also studying applications of those laws, right? Then you will be studying heat transfer. You will be studying how heat transfer takes place by conduction, convection, and radiation. And you will be studying applications, right? What are the applications of heat transfer? For example, in boiler, in condenser, what kind of heat transfer mechanisms we use, right? Okay. After studying unit number 3, you will be able to list down types of road vehicles and their specifications. So whenever any vehicle comes, you will come to know that Maruti 800, it is called as Maruti 800 because the engine capacity is 800 cc. If you see MAT, you will come to know that it is called as MAT because the engine capacity itself is 80 cc. If you see any word like MPFI, you will come to know that MPFI means it is related to injection system, fuel injection system, multi-point fuel injection system is there. If you see a word like CRDI, you will come to know that common rail diesel injection system is there. So that you will come to know after studying unit number 4. Then unit number 5, you will be in a position to discuss several manufacturing processes and identify the suitable process. Let's say even if you are a computer engineer, even if you are an electronics engineer and you want to manufacture certain component, so being an engineer, you will be in a position to decide which machining process you are going to use, right? Which machines you are going to use, what surface roughness you will be having, right? What will be the machining parameters, that you can understand after studying unit number 5. And this is your last unit, that is unit number 6. After studying unit number 6, you will be in a position to explain various types of mechanisms and their applications. Now, as I have told you that in today's lecture, we are going to start with unit number 1, which is nothing but introduction of energy sources and its conversions, right? We'll be studying different energy sources, like you can see solar energy is here, right? Then here, this is a thermal power plant. This is a hydroelectric power plant. This is a wind power station. So we'll be studying energy conversions in unit number 1. In unit number 2, we'll be studying thermal engineering. This is a piston, right? In IC engines, that is internal combustion engines, we use piston cylinder arrangement, right? That we are not going to study, but we are going to study line diagram of a heat engine, right? Line diagram of a heat pump, refrigerator, how the things works, what is efficiency, right? What is coefficient of performance. So those parameters we are going to discuss in unit number 2. Now, see, unit number 3 is different vehicles and their specifications. So as I have told you that after studying unit number 3, you will be in a position to note down different specifications of the vehicles. So you will be in a position to compare different vehicles, right? In unit number 4, we'll be studying different vehicle systems, right? What kind of suspension system is there, how the power is transmitted, what is power steering, right? What are air brakes, what are hydraulic brakes, and everything. All systems in vehicle, safety systems also will be studying. What is anti-skid braking system? We say like ABS, that is anti-skid braking system. So we'll study each and everything. Why airbags are there, how many airbags are there in different vehicles, how airbag works, what are the different safety systems, right? Which different types of sensors are used in automobiles. Everything we'll be studying in unit number 4. In unit number 5, we'll be studying different machining processes. I repeat, in unit number 5, we'll be studying different machining processes, different manufacturing processes. And in last unit, we'll be studying different mechanisms and applications of these mechanisms in domestic appliances. Is the outline of subject clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in today's lecture, we will be starting with our unit number 1, which is introduction to energy sources and its conversion, right? In last lecture also, we have discussed some stuff from unit number 1. So we'll start with our unit number 1, and unit number 1 is introduction to energy sources and its conversion, right? Now see, this is the objective of this unit. You must be in a position to identify the sources of energy, right? And their conversion. And this is the outcome of unit number 1. After studying this unit, you can describe and compare conversion of energy from renewable and non-renewable energy sources. Okay, so this is our SPPU syllabus. We will be studying thermal energy, hydropower energy, nuclear energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, wind energy, hydrogen energy, biomass energy, tidal energy, right? We'll study a simple calculations how efficiency of a thermal power plant is calculated. And then we will study energy conversion devices like pump, compressor, turbines, and windmills. Right? Now see, these are the topics that we have to cover in unit number 1. First is definition and unit of energy and power. Right? Then we will be studying this. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. Can anyone tell me what is energy? How energy is defined?
Capacity
Sir,
to do work.
capacity to do work is
Very
called
good.
energy.
Excellent, excellent. And how we define power?
The rate of doing work.
Rate of doing work.
Excellent.
The rate of doing work.
Very good, very good. The rate of doing work is called as power. Now tell me, what are the units of energy? Different units.
Joule
Excellent.
Joule
Joule is the
and
SI
BTU.
unit.
Joule.
Thermal unit.
Excellent. Joule, calorie, and British thermal unit, which is also called as BTU. Okay, very good. Now, can anyone tell me how we convert joule into calories? Yes. What is the conversion from joules to calories? Or calories to joules? Yes. 1 calorie is equal to how many joules? See, it is written over here.
4.184.
4.184 joule.
Yes, yes, it is 4.184. You have to remember this figure. 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 joules, right? And what is the conversion between BTU, that is British thermal unit, and joules? 1 BTU is equal
1 BTU is equal to
1055 joules.
1055.
Yes, correct. So I believe that this is clear to all of you. Now see, energy is nothing but capacity to do work. As you can see here, you can see a tape recorder, right? And this is nothing but sound energy. Even though this image is a bit blurred, I believe that this image is not that much clear, but still I think you can see. Can you see?
Yes.
yes sir.
Okay. Tell me which kind of energy is here?
Sound energy.
Very good.
Sound energy.
Which kind of energy is here?
Heat
Yes,
energy.
Heat
first
energy.
answer is correct. Tell me about second. Which kind of energy is here?
Heat
Heat energy.
Excellent. It is heat energy or thermal energy. Which kind of energy is here?
Light
Electrical.
See, electrical energy is the input to the lamp. What is the output energy that you are seeing?
Light energy.
Excellent. Light energy. Input is electrical energy, output is light energy. Very good. What is this kind of energy? Now you cannot see this. This is a nuclear fuel rod. So this is nothing but nuclear energy. Okay.
Nuclear energy.
And tell me which kind of energy is here?
Mechanical energy.
Excellent. Kinetic energy or mechanical energy. Half mv square. Right? Now see, I think now you can see. Okay, if I escape this presentation, you can see this. See, this is kinetic energy, nuclear energy, light energy, heat energy, and sound energy. Right? In objective exam, this kind of questions are also there. A figure will be given to you, right? And from that figure, you have to tell which kind of energy is there. Okay, anyway. See, as far as energy is power is concerned, you have to remember the definition and units and different types of energies, right? Okay. Now, as you have told me the definition of power, like power is the rate at which work is done. So power is equal to work upon time. The unit of work is joules and the unit of time is second. So joules per second. So unit of power is watts, right? And also we have seen like 1 kilowatt, 1 megawatt. Can anyone tell me 1 megawatt is equal to how many kilowatts?
10
raised
to 3 watt.
Very good. It will be 10 raised to 3. And 1 megawatt is equal to how many watts?
10 raised to
10 raised
6.
to 6 watt.
Very good. It will be 10 raised to 6. Okay. And also remember this. This is also one more unit of power, which is horsepower. And 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. Right? 1 horsepower is equal to 746 watts. Can anyone tell me 1 horsepower is equal to how many kilowatts?
746 into 10 raised to 3 kilowatt.
No.
0.746. 10 raised to minus 3.
Yes, it will be 746 into 10 raised to minus 3. That is nothing but 1 horsepower is equal to 0.746 kilowatt. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you? 1 horsepower is 746 watt. 1 horsepower is nothing but 746 watt. And 746 watt means 0.746 kilowatt. I believe that this is clear to you. Can anyone tell me 2 horsepower means how many kilowatts? Yes, 2 horsepower means how many kilowatts? Tell me approximately. Let's, instead of 746, let's say that this is 750. So if this is 750, 2 horsepower will be
1492.
yes.
1492.
Yes, 1.492 kilowatts. My question is 2 horsepower is equal to how many kilowatts? So it will be 1.492 kilowatts. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
this is the first part of the unit, right? Like energy and power. Definition and units. Energy is the capacity to do work. Power is the rate at which work is done. The units of energy is joule, calories, right? And BTU, that is British thermal unit. And as far as power is concerned, the units are watt, kilowatt, and horsepower, that is HP. Now, energy is basically classified into 2 forms. Which are those?
Renewable and non-renewable.
Non-renewable.
Very good. Renewable and non-renewable. Can anyone tell me what is renewable? Tell me examples of renewable.
Solar
Wind energy.
Wind, water.
Idle.
What?
Very good. Solar, wind, tidal, right? Hydro,
Hydro.
Geothermal.
geothermal, excellent. Very good. Biomass, right? Okay, tell me why it is called as renewable. Renewable is also called as non-conventional. Okay, tell me why it is called as renewable. Tell me only one thing. Renewable, is it a finite source of energy or infinite source of energy?
Infinite.
Infinite.
source.
Correct. It will be infinite.
Infinite.
Second type is non-renewable. Can anyone tell me examples of non-renewable sources of energy?
Coal.
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 Nuclear.
Natural gas.
Petroleum.
Excellent.
Petroleum.
Natural gas. Then
Petroleum products.
correct. Petroleum. So these are the examples of
Petroleum.
non-conventional. Yes, it is correct. The examples are coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene, LPG, natural gas, right? Like CNG, LNG, all right? Nuclear fuel. And examples of renewable are solar, wind, hydropower, geothermal, ocean, that is tidal energy, right? And biomass. So we have seen this renewable sources of energy. These are infinite, right? They will never become obsolete, right? They will always remain there because they are infinite, right? These are finite. These sources are depleting day by day, right? Non-renewable energy sources. Which are those? Coal, oil, nuclear, and natural gas. Now this, we have seen this difference between conventional energy source and non-conventional, right? These are traditional, these are recently identified, right? Then these are non-renewable, these are renewable. Then these conventional energy sources causes pollution. Non-conventional energy sources are eco-friendly, right? These are exhaustible. They are going to vanish one day or the other, conventional. But non-conventional, they are not going to vanish, right? And these are the examples of conventional energy sources like coal, natural gas, nuclear energy, petroleum products. These are the examples of non-conventional energy sources like solar, wind, tidal, hydro energy, and geothermal. Now, there are different power plants, right? Okay, which power plants are there in our syllabus? First is thermal power plant, right? Can anyone tell me, even though we have not discussed, do you have any idea? In thermal power plant, we convert which kind of energy into which kind of energy? Yes.
Chemical energy into nuclear energy.
See, in thermal power plant, we convert heat energy. We carry out combustion of coal, right? Or we carry out nuclear fission reactions, and using these reactions, we generate heat. And at the end, we generate electrical energy. Just remember one thing, in all power plants, output is fixed. What is that output? Which energy?
Electrical.
Electrical.
Energy, right? Now see, yes, very good. It is correct. It is electrical energy. Can anyone give a thought to this? Why in all power plants we convert all forms of energy into electrical energy? एनर्जी कन्व्हर्जन कशातूनही कशातही होऊ शकतं. मग आपण सगळ्या एनर्जीचं कन्व्हर्जन इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी मध्येच का करतो? In thermal power plant, we use coal, right? We convert thermal energy of that coal into electrical energy. In hydroelectric power plant, we convert potential energy of water, which is stored at high elevation, into electrical energy. In nuclear power plant, we carry out nuclear fission reaction and we convert that nuclear energy into electrical energy. In solar power plant, we convert solar energy into electrical energy. In geothermal power plant, we convert geothermal energy into electrical energy. In gas turbine power plant, we carry out combustion of gas, right? And that energy is converted into electrical energy, right? Then in diesel power plant, we carry out combustion of diesel and we generate electrical energy. Can anyone tell me why in all power plants we generate electrical energy? Is my question clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir, because of
Yes.
the high demand of electricity.
Excellent. Because of high demand of electricity. See, and tell me in our day-to-day life, which energy do we need the most?
Electrical.
Electrical energy. Tell me, see, we need energy. Right now, I'm sitting, my laptop is on, right? Fan is on, right? So we need electrical energy. Even if you go to industry, even if a mechanical industry is there, let's say a production industry is there, or any kind of industry, let's say automobile industry is there, or food processing industry is there. What is the basic requirement for any industry?
Electrical energy.
Electricity. See, electricity, water, and transport. These are the three basic requirements for establishing any industry. And out of that, the most priority is given to electricity, right? Because see, in our day-to-day life, the energy which we require the most is electrical energy, right? Because the devices which we are using, in fact, for cooking also we use many devices which are based on electricity, right? Anyway, what I mean to say that in our day-to-day life, we need electrical energy, right? Now see, as an engineer, what we do, in coal also energy is there. But do I need that energy? No. What I need electrical energy. So as an engineer, what I will do, I will convert chemical energy of that coal into electrical energy. And for that, engineers have developed thermal power stations, right? Let's say water is stored at high elevation, but can we utilize that energy directly? Let's say water is stored at high elevations. What is the use of that energy to us? It is of no use. So what we do? We convert that hydraulic energy into which energy? Electrical energy using hydroelectric power plants. And then we use that electrical energy. Let's say nuclear fuel is there. So that nuclear energy is there. A tremendous amount of energy is there. But can I use that energy directly? No. I need electrical energy. So what should I do? Yes, what should we do?
Convert nuclear energy into electrical energy.
Convert,
Very
correct.
good. So, in all power plants, I repeat, in all power plants, output is power, right? But that word electrical is in the bracket. That output power is nothing but electrical power. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes,
See,
sir.
as an engineer, we must be in a position to to decide energy conversions, to carry out conversion of energy. For example, as a mechanical engineer, as an automobile engineer, I must be in a position to design effective piston cylinder arrangement, effective combustion systems, so that the chemical energy of fuel, right, maximum amount of chemical energy of fuel will get converted into mechanical energy. I hope I'm clear to you. And that is the objective of first unit. As an engineer, irrespective of your discipline, you must know how energy conversions are carried out. You must be in a position to understand how energy conversions are carried out. Okay, so we'll be studying these power plants. We'll study the power plants one by one. So first power plant is thermal power plant, right? Okay. Now see, in your subjective exam, if the exam goes subjective, the question will be like this. Explain the construction and working of a thermal power plant. Now all of you, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Now see, what we do in thermal power plant? In thermal power plant, we convert heat energy of coal, right? We convert heat energy of coal into electrical energy. So what is the input of a thermal power plant? Here, I have not shown that. See, here I have shown. Here we use a boiler, right? Or also we'll see some animations, right? So that the concept will be more clear. See, here we carry out combustion of coal. And whatever heat energy is released by that combustion of coal, it is given to water, because of which water is converted into steam, right? And in this generator, we get electrical energy. So tell me, what is input of a thermal power plant and what is output of a thermal power plant?
Heat
Yes,
energy is the input and electrical energy is the output of this power plant.
excellent. That's why see, thermal power. Power means electrical energy. Thermal means heat energy. So input is heat energy, output is electrical energy. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in thermal power plant, we convert thermal energy into power energy. That is, we convert heat energy into electrical energy. Now, heat energy will be possessed by some fuel, no? And generally in India, we use coal-fired boilers, right? So we'll say heat energy of the coal. Okay. So we convert heat energy of the coal into electrical energy. Now see, coal is burnt in a boiler which converts water into steam. Now see, here coal is burnt. So what will happen? When that energy is given to water, what will happen?
Water converts to steam.
Excellent. See, in your pressure cooker, what happens? When you switch on the gas, when you switch on the flame, what happens? Water is there inside the pressure cooker. What happens? That water gets converted into steam. So when heat is given to water, when heat released by combustion of coal is given to water, what will happen? Water will get converted into steam. Water will get converted into steam. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So tell me, what happens in boiler? Yes, what happens in boiler? In boiler, we carry out combustion of coal. In boiler, we carry out combustion of coal, due to which the heat energy released by combustion of coal is given to water, due to which the water gets converted into high pressure and high temperature steam. Am I clear to all of you? अगदी सोपं आहे. बॉयलर मध्ये आपण काय करतो?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we do in boiler? We carry out combustion of coal. आपण कोळसा जाळतो बॉयलर मध्ये, आणि कोळसा जाळल्यानंतर जी ऊर्जा निर्माण होते, कोल बर्न केल्यानंतर जी एनर्जी रिलीज होते, ती एनर्जी आपण कशाला देतो?
वॉटरला.
वॉटरला. मग वॉटरला जर आपण हीट एनर्जी दिली तर काय होणार आहे?
Steam होणार.
Water gets boiled
Steam.
and converted into
Water
the
will get
steam.
converted into steam. So who will tell me what happens in boiler? So I will tell you two,
In
three
boiler.
simple statements. Yes, please.
In boiler, due to the combustion of coal, water gets boiled, and due to the boiling of water, the steam is created, and the water converted into the steam.
Excellent. Water is converted into high pressure and high temperature steam. मी हे का म्हणतोय हाय प्रेशर आणि हाय टेम्परेचर? बिकॉज मोर इज द प्रेशर, मोर इज द टेम्परेचर, मोर इज द एन्थाल्पी, मोर इज द heat content. Okay, so in boiler water is gets converted into high pressure and high temperature steam. Now see, this is steam wall. कुठल्याही वॉलचं फंक्शन काय असतं रे?
Open and close.
Open and
Yes.
close.
Open, close and regulate. Open, close and regulate. So what is the function of steam stop wall?
Open, close, and
To
regulate.
start, stop and regulate the flow of steam flowing from boiler to steam turbine. Yes, tell me, what is the function of steam wall?
To start, to close, and to regulate the steam.
Excellent. To start, stop and to regulate the flow of steam from boiler to the steam turbine. Okay? Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you? हे संपल्यानंतर मी तुम्हाला ॲनिमेशन दाखवेन, त्या ॲनिमेशन मध्ये कन्सेप्ट अजून छान क्लिअर होईल. पण ॲज अ इंजिनियर आपल्याला हे समजलं पाहिजे की त्या इक्विपमेंट मध्ये काय होतंय. तुमच्या सिलेबस मध्ये काय फक्त हे इक्विपमेंटची नाव आणि त्याच्यामध्ये कोणती प्रोसेस होते एवढंच माहिती असणं अपेक्षित आहे. You must be in a position to draw this sketch and you must be in a position to write 2 statements about each equipment. What happens in that equipment? Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
We have studied only 2. One is boiler and one is steam wall. So what happens in boiler? Combustion of coal is carried out and that heat energy is given to water, due to which water gets converted into high pressure and high temperature steam. Then steam stop wall or steam wall regulates the flow of steam from boiler to steam turbine. Then what happens in steam turbine? Now see, in steam turbine, steam shaft is there, turbine shaft is there and blades are there. Now see, when this high pressure and high temperature steam passes over the blades, what happens? Yes, when high pressure and high temperature steam will pass through the blades, what will happen? The blades will rotate. Right? The blades will rotate. And now see, these blades are mounted on the turbine shaft. So what will happen? This turbine shaft will rotate. When the turbine shaft rotates, there is generation of mechanical energy. When the turbine shaft rotates, there is generation of mechanical energy. Tell me, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Steam turbine. In steam turbine, the high pressure and high temperature steam expands over the turbine blades. High pressure and high temperature steam expands over the turbine blades, which causes rotation of this turbine shaft. Right? So which energy is converted into which energy?
Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy.
No. In steam turbine, which
Heat
energy is
energy is
converted
converted
into
into
which energy?
mechanical energy.
Heat energy is converted into mechanical energy.
Mechanical
Excellent,
energy.
excellent. Heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. See, in steam turbine काय होते? स्टीम टर्बाइन मध्ये हाय प्रेशर हाय टेम्परेचर स्टीम एक्सपांड होते. हाय प्रेशर हाय टेम्परेचर म्हणजे एन्थाल्पी जास्त असणारी स्टीम. स्टीम टर्बाइनच्या इनपुटला जे प्रेशर आणि टेम्परेचर असेल ते हाय असेल. At the input of steam turbine, the pressure and temperature of steam will be high. At the output of steam turbine, the pressure and temperature of steam will be low. Right? So here the enthalpy is high, here the enthalpy is low. Enthalpy means heat content. So here the heat content is very high, here the heat content is very low. And see, this enthalpy or this heat content is converted into mechanical energy. This is your turbine shaft. So in turbine, heat energy of the steam is converted into mechanical energy. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Turbine, heat energy of steam. I repeat, in steam turbine, heat energy of steam is converted into mechanical energy. Now see, this is turbine shaft. This turbine shaft is connected to generator. What is the function of generator? Can anyone tell me? You have studied this in 12th standard. Generator, Lenz's law, E is equal to minus d phi by dt. Just
Develop
remember
mechanical
this
energy.
statement. This generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. What I said?
Developer.
जनरेटर कोणत्या एनर्जीला कोणत्या एनर्जी मध्ये कन्वर्ट करतो? जनरेटर म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिकल जनरेटर असतो.
मेकॅनिकल एनर्जीला
Energy
इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी मध्ये.
Correct. So generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. See, in boiler, steam is produced. Steam stop valve regulates the flow of steam given to steam turbine. In steam turbine, heat energy of steam is converted into mechanical energy, and this generator converts mechanical energy of the turbine into electrical energy. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, steam which is coming out of the steam turbine, it is low pressure and low temperature steam. It is given to condenser. From the name, can anyone tell me what will happen in condenser? What is condensation?
Low pressure heat get converted into the water droplets.
Excellent. Condensation means conversion of steam into water. Right? See, in boiler, evaporation takes place, boiling takes place. Boiling means conversion of water into steam. So in condenser, what will happen? Exactly opposite to that. Condensation. Steam rejects heat. And steam gets converted into water. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes.
So
Yes,
in
sir.
condenser, steam rejects heat and gets converted into water. Right? And see, this water is stored in hot well. Why it is called as hot well? Because it is a well, and temperature of this water is a bit high as compared to atmospheric temperature. That's why it is called as hot well. Right? So the water coming out of condenser is stored in hot well. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, so what is the function of condenser?
Stream converted into water.
Excellent, very good. Steam gets converted into water. पण हे नॅचरली होणार आहे का रे? नॅचरली स्टीमचं कन्वर्जन वॉटर मध्ये होईल? नॅचरली होगा वो कन्वर्जन? स्टीम will naturally get converted into water?
Yes.
Like in case of boiler, we say that water gets converted into steam due to combustion of coal. As we supply heat, water gets converted into steam. So here what happens? Due to rejection of heat in condenser, steam rejects heat, and due to which steam gets converted into water. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now see, that water is stored in hot well. वेल म्हणजे विहीर. हॉट म्हणजे त्याचं टेम्परेचर थोडंसं ऍटमॉस्फेरिक पेक्षा, एम्बियंट पेक्षा थोडंसं टेम्परेचर जास्त असतं. दॅट्स वाय वी कॉल इट ॲज हॉट वेल. 5 ते 6 डिग्रीनी, 5 ते 6 किंवा 7 डिग्रीनी जास्त असतं. दॅट्स वाय इट इज कॉल्ड ॲज हॉट वेल. एनिवे, नाउ टेल मी व्हाय वी यूज पंप?
to lift up the water in the hot well.
Excellent. To lift up the water. Anything else? See, one thing is that we have to lift, because this will be at a lower level, this will be at a higher level. What we do exactly? How we lift water? For lifting up the water, what we do? Which quantity do we increase? We increase the pressure. Right? In pump, we increase the pressure of the water. So from this feed pump, right, water is feed or water is pumped from the hot well to the boiler. So function of this pump is to supply water from hot well to boiler. To pump the water means to increase the pressure intensity of the water. Why to increase pressure intensity? Because see, let's say your boiler is operating at 25 bar. Your boiler is operating at 25 bar. So if you want water to come inside the boiler, what is tendency of any fluid? It flows from high pressure to low pressure. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you? So you have to increase pressure intensity up to 25 bar. Then only your water can enter from hot well to boiler. So tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so which devices we have discussed? I expect you to tell me one by one. Till now, see, we have discussed boiler, steam wall, steam turbine, condenser, and feed pump. So basically, this is cycle: boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. These four are important equipments. Which are those? Boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. BTCP: boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. Okay. So chalo, tell me one by one. What is the function of boiler? See, what are the four important equipments in a thermal power plant? Yes. What are the four most important equipments in a thermal power plant?
Boiler, steam
Yes.
valve,
Yes.
steam turbine, and generator.
Yes. See, main equipments are boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. This is basic cycle, right? Which is also called as Rankine cycle. That we'll discuss afterwards because this is not in your syllabus. But as an engineer, if you know it, it will be better, right? Boiler, turbine, condenser, pump. And then also these components are also important, like steam stop valve or generator or cooling tower. This also we will discuss one by one. So initially tell me what happens in boiler.
In boiler, due to the condensation of coal, the water gets boiled and it's converted into the steam.
Excellent. Now see, only one word you have mispronounced due to combustion of coal, right? It is combustion. So we carry out combustion. Combustion म्हणजे ज्वलन करतो आपण त्याचं. We set it on fire. So in boiler, due to combustion of coal, heat energy is released. That heat is given to water, and due to which water gets converted into steam. Water gets converted into high pressure and high temperature steam. Okay, very good, excellent. Chalo, who will tell me next? Steam wall.
Steam wall helps
Heat
to
regulates the flow of steam
high
and
pressure, high
generate the
temperature
steam.
steam.
Okay, steam wall regulates the flow of steam from boiler to turbine. Steam
Turbine.
wall regulates the flow of steam from boiler to turbine. कुठल्याही वॉलचं फंक्शन असतं, घरामध्ये आपला टॅप असतो, नळ असतो, तो कशासाठी आपण वापरतो? टू स्टार्ट द फ्लो, टू स्टॉप द फ्लो अँड टू रेग्युलेट द फ्लो. Either we can start, we can stop, or we can regulate. The basic function is to regulate, right? So steam stop valve regulates the flow of steam from boiler to turbine. Okay, who will tell me function of steam turbine?
In steam turbine, heat energy is converted into mechanical energy.
Excellent. In steam turbine, heat energy gets converted into mechanical energy. Can you elaborate? Can anyone elaborate?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The high pressure and high temperature steam gets expand into the shaft, and due to this rotate the shaft, the turbine blades get rotated, and due to this rotation of the turbine blades, the mechanical energy is generated, and this mechanical energy gets converted into the electrical energy.
In the generator. Excellent, very good. See, this kind of approach should be there. See what happens in steam turbine? The high pressure and high temperature steam expand over the turbine blades, which causes rotation of the turbine blades. Now these turbine blades, they are mounted on the turbine shaft. So when turbine blades are rotating, this turbine shaft will also rotate. So there is generation of mechanical energy, and this shaft is connected to generator. Different poles are there. So when that electric flux is cut, right, electrical energy will be generated, right? So inside the generator, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Even if you remember only one statement, that in steam turbine, heat energy of steam, it gets converted into mechanical energy, that will also do. But as an engineer, you must know exactly what happens. See, steam turbine, if you see at the cross section, right, this is input, this is output. So what happens? Tell me, this cross section at the inlet and cross section at the outlet, which is more? If this is cross section at the inlet and this is cross section at the outlet, tell me which dimension is more?
Outlet.
Outlet. So it indicates expansion process. It indicates expansion process. So when the steam expands, right, it causes rotation of the turbine blades. Yes. Tell me, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, who will tell me about condenser?
It converts steam into water.
Yes. In condenser, heat is extracted from the steam. That's why steam gets converted into water. And that water is pumped to, through condensate extraction pump, it is given to hot well. Condensate extraction pump, condensate extraction pump, even if you don't remember this word, that is fine, right? Just remember that after condenser, that condensate is stored in hot well. Tell me very honestly, is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Now tell me, what is the function of feed pump?
It applies pressure.
Excellent.
Heat applied.
It gives pressure due to which water is pumped from hot well to boiler.
Hot wheel to
Or
boiler.
just remember that feed pump pumps. Pumps means काय lifts. Feed pump pumps the water from hot well to boiler. So it supplies the water from hot well to boiler. And to supply water, what you have to do? You have to increase its pressure intensity. I believe that it is clear to all of you. So I believe that these functions are clear to you. Tell me very honestly, any difficulty with this?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Now see what happens. Here you convert steam into water. For that you have to reject heat, right? And when you have to reject heat, that reject heat must be absorbed, no? So it will be absorbed by the cold water. See, this is a heat exchanger through which you are circulating cold water. Now tell me, when this steam will come in contact with cold water, what will happen? ह्या ट्यूब्स आहेत, या ट्यूब्स मधून कोल्ड वॉटर पास करतोय आपण. वी आर पासिंग कोल्ड वॉटर थ्रू these tubes, and here steam is there. So what will happen? Steam will reject heat to this cold water, and due to which steam will get converted into water, right? Now tell me, what will happen to this cold water?
Cold water gets hot.
Yes, cold water will absorb some heat and it will become hot, right? And see, this hot water is given to a cooling tower, right, where water is sprayed, and due to which again this hot water gets converted into cold water, right? I will show you animation so that the concept will be more clear to you. But just remember that condenser is a type of heat exchanger. What do you mean by heat exchanger? A device where exchange of heat takes place. I repeat, condenser is a device where exchange of heat takes place. What happens? Steam rejects heat, due to which steam gets converted into water, and the water which is flowing through the tubes, it absorbs heat, due to which its temperature increases, right? See here there is cold water which is moving inside the heat exchanger, hot water is leaving the heat exchanger. आता हे जे hot water आहे ते as it is circulate करून चालेल का रे?
No.
Yes. No, it will not do. Why it will not do? कारण मग ते हॉट वॉटर परत हीट एक्सट्रॅक्ट करणारच नाही स्टीम कडून. मग ते हॉट वॉटर आपल्याला काय करावं लागेल? We have to reduce its temperature, and for that function this cooling tower is there, right? In cooling tower, here we spray that water, and from the bottom air is flowing. So cold air is blowing from bottom to the top, and hot water is sprayed from top to the bottom. So whenever this hot water is sprayed, while falling down, it comes in contact with cold air, due to which its temperature reduces. Can anyone tell me why this hot water is sprayed? Why not it is passed through a simple tubing arrangement? What do you think? Why it is sprayed? Why it is sprinkled? Even though I have not explained, can you apply your logic? हे गरम पाणी आपण स्प्रे का करतो? आपण हे ट्यूब मधून पण पास करू शकलो असतो की नाही? इथून पण आपण एक ट्यूब पास करू शकलो असतो आणि इथून थंड हवा पास करायची. स्प्रे केल्यामुळे काय होईल?
लवकर गार होईल ते.
एक्सलंट. लवकर गार होईल म्हणजे हीट ट्रान्सफर रेट हायर असेल. हीट ट्रान्सफर रेट हायर का असेल? आपण जरी ऑटोमोबाईल मधली MPFI सिस्टम डिस्कस केली नसली तरी मला सांगा, मल्टी पॉइंट फ्युएल इंजेक्शन सिस्टम, आपण फ्युएल पंप वापरतो, असं बारीक नॉझल मधून आपण फ्युएल स्प्रे करतो. स्प्रे का करतो रे आपण? कंबशन इफेक्टिव्ह होण्यासाठी. इथून पाणी डायरेक्ट टाकलं खाली किंवा ट्यूब मधून पास केलं, राईट, आणि स्प्रे केलं, तर स्प्रे केल्यानंतर हीट ट्रान्सफर रेट जास्त असेल. का जास्त असेल?
सरफेस एरिया वाढतो म्हणून.
एक्सलंट, एक्सलंट. व्हॉट इज युअर गुड नेम?
शिवम बगाडे.
शिवम, एक्सलंट. सी दिस काइंड ऑफ अप्रोच शुड बी देअर. सरफेस एरिया वाढतो, आपण जेवढे ड्रॉपलेट्स करू तेवढा सरफेस एरिया वाढतो, आणि जेव्हा हीट ट्रान्सफर कन्व्हेक्शन होऊ द्या, रेडिएशन होऊ द्या, हीट ट्रान्सफर इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू सरफेस एरिया. So more is the surface area, more is the heat transfer. Let's say if we are talking about convection, Newton's law of cooling, Q is equal to H AS into bracket TS minus TF. So AS is surface area. More is AS, more will be Q convective. So more is the surface area, more is the heat transfer. I believe I am clear to you. So when we increase surface area, the heat transfer rate increases tremendously. राईट. कॉम्पॅक्ट हीट एक्सचेंजर्स आपण डिझाईन करतो, म्हणजे आपण काय करतो, कमीत कमी व्हॉल्यूम मध्ये जास्तीत जास्त सरफेस एरियाची सिस्टीम कशी डिझाईन करता येईल. दोज हीट एक्सचेंजर्स आर कॉल्ड एज कॉम्पॅक्ट हीट एक्सचेंजर्स. ओके, एनीवे, व्हॉट आय मीन टू से, व्हाय वॉटर इज स्प्रेड ओव्हर हियर, सो दॅट surface area, more surface area of water will come in contact with air, right, due to which there will be more heat exchange and water will get cooled down at a faster pace, right. Convective transfer coefficient will be higher, that's why this Q convection, heat transfer by convection, will be very higher. Okay, anyway, now see this cold water, again it is pumped through this pump. The function of pump is to just to keep this circulating. Whenever you want any cycle, right, you have to use pump, right, for cycling. Okay, so which different equipments we have seen in a thermal power plant? Just tell me names of the equipments.
Boiler,
Yes, boiler. After that,
Steam wall.
correct. Steam wall.
steam
Then,
turbine,
Steam turbine.
correct. Then,
generator,
excellent. Generator.
condenser,
Condenser.
hot well,
Hot
Correct.
well.
feed pump,
Good.
cooling tower.
Excellent. Now, can anyone tell me what is the function of steam turbine? I will ask you randomly. What is the function of steam turbine?
Heat energy converted into mechanical
Converted
energy.
into mechanical energy.
Excellent. Heat energy of steam gets converted into mechanical energy. Good. What is the function of generator?
To convert
Mechanical energy converted into electrical energy.
Excellent. Convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Very good. What is the function of condenser?
Steam gets released the heat and it's converted into the water.
Correct. Extract heat from the steam and to convert steam into water. Very good. What is the function of feed pump?
High pressure of a water.
Correct. To increase pressure intensity of the water and to pump it from which place to which place? I'm asking you about feed pump.
Hot well to boiler.
Hot well to boiler.
Very good. What is the function of boiler?
Combustion of a coal.
Coal.
Heat is present.
Yes, correct.
Water gets transferred into the steam.
Excellent. See, in boiler, we carry out combustion of the coal, due to which heat energy is released, and when this heat energy is given to water, water gets converted into steam. That is high pressure and high temperature steam. Very good. What is the function of steam wall?
to regulate the flow of steam.
Correct. From which place to which place?
Boiler to steam
Boiler
turbine.
to steam turbine.
Excellent. From boiler to steam turbine. Okay. What is the function of cooling tower?
Hot water converts into cold water.
Yes. In cooling tower, we sprinkle hot water, right? And that hot water comes in contact with cold air, which is blown from bottom to top. हा डायरेक्ट कॉन्टॅक्ट टाइप हीट एक्सचेंजर आहे. डायरेक्ट कॉन्टॅक्ट टाइप हीट एक्सचेंजर म्हणजे काय? बोथ फ्लुइड्स कम्स इन डायरेक्ट कॉन्टॅक्ट विथ इच अदर. तर कोणत्या दोन फ्लुइड्स मध्ये हीट एक्सचेंज होता रे इथे? वन इज एअर अँड वन इज वॉटर. एअर इथं खालून वरती ब्लो होते. Air is blown from bottom to the top. I will show you the animation, right? So that the concept will be more clear to you. And this water is sprayed from top to the bottom, right? So water is flowing from top to bottom and cold air is flowing from bottom to top. So both fluids comes in direct contact with each other. Water rejects heat to air. So temperature of water decreases. What will happen to temperature of air? Yes.
High.
Yes, temperature of air will increase. खालून आपण कोल्ड एअर ब्लो करतो, जेव्हा ही कोल्ड एअर आतमध्ये जाते तेव्हा ती गरम पाण्याच्या कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये येते आणि गरम पाणी त्या कोल्ड एअरला हीट रिजेक्ट करतं. द हॉट वॉटर रिजेक्ट्स हीट टू द कोल्ड एअर ड्यू टू विच टेम्परेचर ऑफ एअर इन्क्रीजेस and temperature of water decreases. Heat exchange is very simple. Exchange of heat between two fluids. One fluid is hot fluid and one fluid is cold fluid. The hot fluid will reject heat, its temperature will decrease. Cold fluid will accept heat, its temperature will increase. Okay, I believe that this concept is clear to you. So the concept of thermal power plant is clear to you. See, other power plants are very simple. Yes, Harshada, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay.